Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Lemons and I can't believe we're ready for weeks 3 and 4 for our work, but we are. I'm going to read to you today from the Journeys reading book, Luke at Bat. I'll go over the vocabulary and then I'll read the story. So here we go. If you're following along with me, I'm on page 48 and this is the vocabulary. The first word here for this week is practice. If you practice hitting the baseball every day, your hitting will get better. We all know that practice makes perfect, but you gotta practice well too. 2, below it, hurried. The soccer player hurried to stop the ball. He moved fast. Hurry, going very quickly. Number 3, position. The batter is in the position to hit the ball, meaning position in the right place. Number 4, roared. The crowd roared loudly as the player caught the ball. Roared. So loud and excited. Number 5, extra. The extra players for the football team sat on the bench. Extra, more than you need. Number 6, curb. After skating, the girl rested on the curb outside her house. The curb, part of the street, like the extra part where you can sit on the side. Number 7, cheered. The audience clapped and cheered as the players scored a goal. Cheered. Got excited and rooted for a team. Then number 8, final. When the game ended, the final score was 4-2. Final, meaning the end. Now, I don't think there is a vocabulary page with this one. If there was, remember you can always look back in the glossary to know what the words mean too. All right, then we're going to look at, I'm going to go kind of right to Luke Goes to Bat. It's on page 52, and this is a realistic fiction. So we've talked a lot about realistic fiction this year. It says characters who act like real people, a setting that could be a real place. So something about it is made up, but it really could happen. Here's the author. I'm not going to read about her, but it's Rachel Isadora and the illustrator as well. So she wrote the story and drew the pictures. Here we go. Luke Goes to Bat by Rachel Isadora. I love baseball. My family loves baseball. It's kind of a hard time because we're not playing as much as we'd like to, but we will be at some point. And here we go. The essential question: why is it important to keep trying even if something is difficult to do? And it may not be baseball, but we all have things in our life, maybe even right now, that are difficult. But why is it important to keep trying even when something is difficult? Think about that as I read the story. Page 54. It was Brooklyn. It was summer. It was baseball. All day long, the kids on Bedford Avenue played stickball in the streets, except for Luke. When you're older, his big brother Nicky told him. He's just a squirt, one of the other kids said, laughing. So Luke watched the games from the curb, and then he'd practice. He threw a ball against the wall next to the deli. He practiced his swing over and over again. He ran as fast as he could, up and down the block. He wanted to be ready when it was time. So if you look, which one is Luke too? He's the one with the blue hat looking on. Now, does it look like it's in a city or a country, the setting? It's in a city. It's in Brooklyn. And obviously they have to kind of play in the streets here because they don't have a nice place to play like in the grass or a diamond. And at night, whenever the Dodgers were playing, Luke hurried up to the roof where he could see the lights of the Ebbets Field. When he heard the crowd go wild, he imagined his favorite player, Jackie Robinson, had hit a home run. Someday, Luke thought, I will hit a home run too. Now later, the second part of this, the second story that goes along with this is about Jackie Robinson, and I'm going to read you a book about that too. Jackie Robinson's one of my favorite people to learn about. Page 60. I don't think I skipped a page. I did. It didn't sound right. Page 58. Finally, one morning, the team was short a player. Frankie had to go to his aunt's. Who we gonna get? Hey, said Luke, what about me? Everyone was quiet. Aw, come on, said his brother. Give him a chance. We got nobody else. He better not mess up. They put him in left field. No balls came his way, so he just stood there. When it was his turn up at bat, Luke took a few practice swings, then stepped up to the plate. I'll show them, Luke muttered. The ball whizzed past. Strike one. Luke held the bat higher. Strike two. Luke was barely in position when the next ball flew past and the catcher yelled, out. So he did what? Struck out. Page 60. You stink, Luke heard. He got up to bat one more time but struck out again. Sometimes it just goes that way, his brother told him. Frankie came back in the afternoon, so Luke spent the rest of the day on the curb. He was sure they'd never let him play again. Grandma was in the kitchen when he got home. I finally got a chance to play with the team, Luke told her. Grandma could tell that the game hadn't gone well. Not everyone plays like Jackie Robinson all the time, she said. Not even Jackie Robinson. Luke didn't smile. By the way, Grandma said, are you doing anything tomorrow night? Luke shrugged. Well, if you're so busy, someone else will have to go with me to the game at Ebbets Field. What? You mean a real game? Grandma held up 2 tickets. Grandmas always make things better. Ebbets Field was ablaze with lights. By this time, Luke didn't have to imagine the game. Thanks for taking me, Grandma, he said. They watched the Dodgers and Phillies battle it out. The game went into extra innings. By the time the Dodgers got up to bat in the bottom of the 14th inning, the score was still tied, 8-8. With 2 outs, Jackie Robinson was up. The crowd roared. Come on, Jackie, Luke yelled. The pitcher threw a curveball. Jackie swung. Strike one, the umpire called. The pitcher wound up. He threw a fastball and Jackie missed. Strike two! 3 balls followed. All eyes at Ebbets Field rested on Jackie. The Dodgers could still win. Luke shouted with the crowd, Give it to him, Jackie! You show him! Jackie looked around from under his cap, then dug his feet into the dirt. The pitcher began his wind-up. You can do it, Jackie, Luke whispered. You can do it. Suddenly, Luke heard the loud crack of a bat. When he looked up, the ball was flying over his head, flying over the scoreboard, flying over the walls of Ebbets Field. The crowd went wild. Luke stood up on his seat and cheered. You showed him, Jackie. What a game, Grandma said. See, you can't give up. Even Jackie Robinson's got to keep trying. Luke didn't answer. And remember, we talked about it before. If you can see, he's up top there. A lot of times, if you lived in a city, you would go up to the very top of the apartment building to play. When Luke got home, he ran up to the roof. The lights were going out on Ebbets Field. Come on down, it's time, Nikki called. Just then, Luke saw a ball lying on the ground. Look, he said, picking it up. This is the home run ball that Jackie Robinson hit tonight. Nah, that's just some old ball a kid hit up on the roof, Nick said, laughing, as he went downstairs. And that's when Luke saw him. It was Jackie Robinson himself. I hit that one for you, kid. Before Luke could say a word, Jackie ran to the dugout to join the other Dodgers, but he looked back one more time. Now, that's going to be a question, too, if Jackie was really there or he was just thinking that or imagining it. I'm not going to give you the answer. I want you to decide. Hey, kid, he said. Your grandma was right. You can't give up. Thanks, Mr. Robinson. The final lights went out at Ebbets Field. Luke looked down at the winning ball and smiled. I won't, he whispered to himself. And and he didn't. It says, think about the story's events. What lesson does Luke learn? I want you to think about that. Now, I want you to turn to page 76 too, where it has the classroom conversation. That's always questions about the text. So here's 3 questions to think about. Here's number 1. What lesson does Luke learn? That kind of just asks that again too at the end of the story. Number 2, how does it help Luke to see Jackie Robinson almost strike out? And number 3, what might happen the next time Luke plays baseball with his friends? Use text evidence to explain your answer. Now, I think this is a great story. I want to go over a couple things that you need to do on your own then. One of them, I would go back and read this page on 74 when it's talking about sequence of events, when things happen, like first, next, and last. After you've reviewed the story, these 2 pages were in your packet of work. These are the answers. This is where you cut and glue it. And this is a flow chart of what happened first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So when we're talking about sequencing, what happened first, now there's more than just 3, but it goes in order and you can see the arrows from the first thing to the last thing. So you can review the story to see what the correct answers are. The other thing are the comprehension questions. Now, the last time, and a lot of times we just have the multiple choice, these are short answer questions. And the directions do say comprehension questions, Luke goes to bat. Directions, answer the questions below in a complete sentence. I haven't been with you in a while, but complete sentence means capital. It means period. Okay, make sure it's complete. And even, I won't read all the questions, but if you turn to the back, don't forget there's questions in the back. But number 5 says, based on what you've seen in the pictures, do you think Luke really sees and talks with Jackie or imagines it? Again, answer that in a complete sentence, okay? So the next time I read with you, then we will look at Jackie Robinson himself, and then like I said, I have an extra read aloud that I want to read to you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're working hard. I know as the weather gets nice, it's hard to work hard, but I'm so proud of you and I miss you. Take care.